Hello, I am the gaming superhero, and today I am making a kit for the standout character of the Superman movie, Metamorpho. Okay, so obviously the standout was Mr. Terrific, but I already put the DC roster together, and I put Metamorpho as like the extra Superman character for the movie. Obviously, if I were putting the roster together now, I would probably have Mr. Terrific instead, but it's too late. Whatever, Metamorpho is still cool and makes for an interesting kit. So, I think this is actually another week where nobody guessed correctly. Yeah, nobody got it this time. I guess just a quick reminder, the DC teases and videos are gonna be from the roster, because there were a bunch of guesses for characters that aren't even on my DC roster, so I guess just future reference, assuming all the people that were commenting random DC characters weren't just like clowning around, which I mean, look, I guess that's fine. Can't really have nothing mad about that, but I guess just, you know, for clarification in the future, yeah, they're going to be characters from the roster and not just random picks like the Marvel ones. But yeah, let's get into his first appearance. Rex Mason, aka Metamorpho, aka the Element Man, first appeared in The Brave and the Bold, number 57, in 1965. We open on one of those "you're probably wondering how I got here" moments, with Rex dying in a pyramid before jumping back in time to explain how he got there. We open, for real, on a tarmac full of people awaiting the arrival of the world-renowned adventurer Rex Mason, back from an adventure in the Amazon. But when the plane lands, he is not there. So we jump back in time again to Sapphire Stagg, getting a traffic ticket before speeding away when she sees Rex's plane in the sky, also seeing he has jumped from the plane to land in her car, and they start making out. Ooh. It's cool though, they are engaged. The people at the tarmac, however, are confused and disrespected that Rex would gaslight them, and call this out as an embarrassment to his sponsor, Simon Stagg, aka Mr. Millions, making me think he's the richest man in the DC universe, because why else would someone be called that? And remember, this is in the 60s, when, you know, being a millionaire was the top of the crop and not billions. Millions was the old billions. Anyway, Stagg is watching this all unfold from his TV, as well as seeing his daughter and Rex making love. Their words, not mine. Stagg is upset that Rex keeps disrespecting him and for marrying his daughter, because normal overprotective father reasons, honestly. Also, there is a bodyguard named Java, who is a thought-out Neanderthal who also loves Sapphire. He will be important later. Stagg sends goons to literally pick the couple up and take them to him. When they arrive, Rex shows Stagg the shrinking potion he got from South Africa by smashing the vial and shrinking his leopard, I think? Stagg plays this off and offers Rex a deal to collect the Orb of Ra in Egypt,
$1 million.
which is said to be enough for Rex and Sapphire to get married and also be independent from Stagg. So he agrees to go. Stagg also requires Rex to take Java. The two arrive seeing a pink pyramid that starts giving off extreme heat that screws with the plane. We then see what Dr. Eureka is up to. Anyway, Rex manages to land the plane, but also breaks the landing gear. They enter the pyramid and find the scepter with the Orb of Ra, after which Java knocks Rex out and leaves him for dead, hoping that Sapphire will pick him as the rebound guy. But Rex is dropped into a secret compartment with a meteorite the orb was made from, which gives off radiation that starts to kill Rex, but thinking quickly uses a ring with a special chemical compound that Stagg gave him. No, I didn't fail to mention it earlier. I guess it was given long before the issue, and we are only now hearing about it. Anyway, Rex takes a nap and awakes with a door presumably being formed. They don't really explain that part. He also is a deformed monster now, as seen in the perfectly working Egyptian mirror. He escapes the pyramid by becoming a gas and fixes the plane with his new abilities. But he is still behind the cup of coffee who got a second plane thanks to Stag's goons, delivering the orb to Stag and causing distress to Sapphire, who is worried about him. But as soon as she leaves the room, Rex yells out to Stag that he is coming for revenge. But what is Oddball Otto up to? Back to Metamorpho, storming the Stag castle by becoming hydrogen gas and slipping through the vents to confront Stag. But Sapphire has re-entered the room and faints at the sight of him. He then beats up Java with his abilities before being stopped by Stag, who finds out the Orb of Ra can stop Rex like Kryptonite to Superman. But Stag, only having wanted Java to strand Rex and not disfigure him, decides he will help cure Rex. They begin doing tests on Metamorpho. Stag discovers he doesn't know how to fix Rex. Then, suddenly, the jilted coding software begins burning the castle down. The two men can escape, but Sapphire is trapped in her tower, which she lives in because I wasn't being symbolic calling this place a castle. The Element Man turns into fire retardant and saves the girl, who says she will love Rex, and thinks he should use his powers to help people like a superhero. And that is where our story ends. Very good and cool subversion by having Sapphire still openly love Rex instead of, being disgusted or having there be bad communication, and so it is unclear if she still loves him, giving him a bunch of angsty doubt. But no, he just has regular angst from being ugly now. On to the kit. I made him a tank. Yes, 2 in a row. It's weird, but whatever. He has a primary fire that is a sweeping melee for hitting multiple enemies. In addition, he has a secondary fire that is a precision long-range melee for singular enemies. He also has a movement ability to become gas and fly for a short period, similar to Cloak's movement ability, except only Metamorpho and not nearby allies. He can attack in this state, but also can't be attacked. As a way to make it, a tank ability, I think it would be cool if any enemy projectiles that pass through the gas deal reduced damage. The logic being he becomes an acidic gas that wears down the projectile. Ability 1 is in direct contrast to the movement ability, where he becomes Diamond, taking reduced damage and dealing extra damage on his primary fire, not his secondary fire. He can still use the secondary fire, it just doesn't benefit from the bonus damage. This is directly stolen from Emma Frost, because I really want Metamorpho to focus on changing into different materials and not just be a Mr. Fantastic ripoff, because he is so much more than that. Ability 2 is Rubber Push. His hands become giant and rubber as he pushes any enemies in front of him a significant distance away. Very simple, and also goes in the face of the whole separation from Mr. Fantastic I was going for. But whatever, he doesn't have an ability exactly like this, and it is still a cool way of showing his powers. Metamorpho's powers, that is. And can also be cool for knocking multiple people off a cliff. The ultimate is Hot Feet. Creates an area around himself that damages and slows enemies. Functioning similar to Luna in he can still move and the area follows him. Pretty standard tank ult, but still pretty useful. I'm not sure if he should be able to still attack while in this state, but I think it would be fine if he did. No map synergy or team up because I didn't add one of the Terrifics for him to team up with. Just another reason for me to regret not adding Mr. Terrific. But also, because I forgot to mention it, I imagine the area is like lava, hence the name Hot Feet. He turns his legs into lava, creating the area. That's how the whole thing looks visually. I forgot to mention that part. But yeah, that is how I would add Metamorpho to a DC Rivals. Very fun to think of, but also very difficult given the possibilities are literally endless. But I'm happy where I landed, especially given I was able to have a solid, a liquid, and a gas in at least one of his abilities, which is really nice. Solid in his base form, gas in his movement, and liquid in his ultimate. But yes, I'm ultimately still happy to have Metamorpho in the roster, but for recency and relevancy, it probably would have been better to have Mr. Terrific, if we're being honest. So, let me know what skins you would give Metamorpho on the Discord for the Wednesday skin short, and let me know what you thought of the kit overall. Do you think it's fitting for the character? Or do you think, should have been something else? Or do you think he fits better in Duelist. I mean, you can probably fit anyone in Duelist, but I felt Tank was better overall for his character and ability set. And you're welcome for opening your eyes to the true MVP of the Superman movie. Fuck Mr. Terrific.